The internet thinks Jim Carrey has been cloned. It also thinks Selena Gomez has been cloned. We'll get into that in a second. Jim Carrey showed up at an event recently, and everyone said, this man has been cloned. I don't know about you, but that just looks like Jim Carrey with a little bit of Botox to me. Here, let's watch a video.
Oh my gosh, you know, one that pops to mind all the time is, I don't know what the French name is, it's The Untouchables with Omar Sy. That movie made me leap off my couch.
Looks like Jim Carrey to me.
Cheer.
Sounds like Jim Carrey to me.
And laugh and cry, and I love that movie. So, you know, I love that. I love Breathless, which is wonderful that there's been a movie.
It's Jim Carrey. Chad says it wasn't him. Why do you think that? Because you fell from the internet. It was not a different actor. A lot of people were like, oh my God, it's been outed. It's not him. It's a makeup artist. The makeup artist is trolling you. Nobody confirmed it was the makeup artist. The makeup artist is literally trolling you. You're making him viral. It's not real. Okay? The makeup artist did not confirm, nor did they prove that that was them. And almost every person was like, that's Jim Carrey. Even his team put out a message like, that was Jim Carrey. I don't know why you guys are being fucking weird about this. And you're being weird about this because you think this looks significantly different. This looks exactly like Jim Carrey. You think this is a prosthetic? You think this is a prosthetic? Like, I just need you to really be honest with me. Do you think this is a prosthetic? Look at it. Do you think this is a prosthetic? And for all of you saying like, oh, it could be a prosthetic, just to show you his work, his prosthetic is not that good. Okay, this is Alexis Stone. So Alexis Stone, this is almost 1 million followers. He put out this post saying like, oh my God, it was me. Oops, let me go back. Saying like, it was me. Okay, guys, this is not a confirmation. This is just a troll because look at his other things. Okay, that is not good. I mean, it's good, but it's not good. It's obviously not Jennifer Coolidge. Did you really think this is Jennifer Coolidge? Do you know what I'm saying? Did you really think that was Jennifer Coolidge? I mean, everything is off about it. It's funny, it's good, it's drag, but nothing in my brain actually thinks that's Jennifer Coolidge. He does good work, not to discount it. Look at, this is so good. But this is obviously not Mrs. Doubtfire because Robin Williams is dead. You know what I mean? It's good, but it's not that good, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm like impressed. Like, okay, this is good, but this is obviously not Lana. You can tell it's not Lana. Look at the face. It's good, but it's obviously not Lana. I'm not saying he's not skilled. I'm not saying he doesn't have talent. You know, if you guys have never seen, this is him. He's, you know, I've seen him all over my For You page, all over. Okay, super talented. I love it, but obviously, okay. Okay, some of them are really, really good. Like really, really good. Really good. But that just looks like, look at the wrinkles, look at the human face, look at the teeth. You know what I mean? Like, look at how real that skin is. Like, look how real his face is. That looks so much like Jim Carrey. I don't even understand what's happening. You know what I mean? He just looks so much like Jim Carrey to me. Now, you know what's hilarious is I found this TikTok. It's a tweet from Blair White saying, okay, this is Jim Carrey shit, has me bugging. You guys are so funny.
Look at this. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh, would you look at this? Just look at it. Just look at it.
Yeah, well.
What the heck is that?
Like, everyone is freaking out, but it's like, why?
A bleph and cheek filler, guys. It's literally a bleph and cheek filler, guys. It's no different than with Bradley Cooper. You can now see this man's eyelids in all their glory, and he has a perpetually surprised look on his face. And for the people saying, oh, but his eye color changed. This picture was obviously taken a few years ago. His eyes look a lot lighter here, too. His skin tone even looks different. Did you ever think that maybe the lighting has a lot to do with it? Jim was in France to receive an honorary César award. The César is more or less the French version of the Oscar. Yes, he did speak at length in kind of a voice and a cadence that wasn't familiar, but that just shows me that you have no idea he showed up to another awards show 20 some odd years ago, dressed like this, chain smoking and acting like a full out hippie all night. This man was not Jim Carrey that night at all. He also did a whole movie back in, I think, 1999, where he portrayed Andy Kaufman. Not only in front of the camera, but he was Andy Kaufman off camera as well. During production of this movie, this man was not even responding to his own name. The only name he would respond to was Andy. That method acting paid off with the Golden Globe. Of course, our spidey senses are going to be off the charts when Jim Carrey shows up to any event, not as the typical Jim Carrey. But knowing him as an actor and having been a fan for 30 plus years, this could definitely just be for a role.
What do you mean for a role? Nothing is happening. He's not even being significant. He showed up to an event, spoke some French, and everyone's like, it's a clone! It's just Jim Carrey speaking French! What am I missing? What am I missing? What is so significant about this? Am I stupid? Nothing is unique about anything he did at that awards show. Jim Carrey's a weirdo. He's always been a fucking weirdo. Anyways, this is a bigger conversation about conspiracy theorists just having no fucking jobs in their life and they're too busy. Chad says, why are we searching for more conspiracies when the real ones have recently come to light via the Epstein files? I just want to hit back on this so hard. No conspiracy theory came true. Victims spoke up and no one wanted to listen until the conspiracy theories felt validated. No conspiracy theories, just truth. Victims have been screaming from the top of their lungs for decades. Conspiracy theories did not come true. Conspiracy theories are not right. They're just people who are loud and wrong. Your conspiracies are wrong. The victims were correct, which is why we believe victims. This is the point of what I want to talk about today. Everyone is so busy talking about conspiracy theories that raping children isn't enough. You have to come up with clones. Okay? Raping kids isn't enough. You also have to add in that they're eating babies. It's like, bro, wasn't raping kids enough? Okay? Apparently not. Apparently not. That we're living in just crazy land with these. Look at this. Look at this.
Some of you are new to the he or she is a clone game. First of all, you're not Getty imaging enough ears. That's how I know you don't know how to tell if somebody's a clone. Here's what I think happened to Jim Carrey. I think he had a brow lift, but he did not have a bleph. So he has this smooth forehead and this heightened eye appearance, even though it's still surrounded by all of the excess skin tissue. That's why his eyes look like they're a different color. More light is being let into the eye. And that's why it's so uncanny valley, because the eyes are not that dissimilar, except for they're just a slightly different position in the face because the brow has been...
Literally on stream yesterday for member stream, I said, hey, what color are my eyes? Because they're hazel. And some people are like, oh, I thought you had brown eyes. I don't have brown eyes. I have hazel green eyes. But the lighting in my room probably makes some of you think I have brown eyes. Also, contacts. People are like, how do you explain the eyes then? How do you explain his eyes? Guys, what are you talking about? Now, I need to show you this. Stay with me. Do you know who Stephen Baldwin is? You know how Alec Baldwin, they have brothers, like 4 of them. This is Hailey's dad, Hailey Bieber, who apparently is not a clone. Okay, so Justin Bieber is not a clone because he has all these tattoos. The clone people think that Justin Bieber was saved from being cloned because he got all these tattoos and it's hard to recreate tattoos when you're a clone. Noted. But Selena Gomez, a clone. Jim Carrey, a clone. So stay with me. This is Stephen Baldwin on his conspiracy TikTok.
Do I have your attention now?
My God.
Hey y'all, just another quick note here to remind you, Jim Carrey cannot tell you guys all about the counterfeit truth. He's already talked about it on Jimmy Kimmel and a lot of stuff, but people as big and powerful as Jim Carrey, they can't tell you about the counterfeit truth. But I can, because I'm outside of that system. There's a reason why I'm outside of that system. It's because I possess special powers within. Because if you mess with the horns, you get the bull.
All right. So let's keep going.
Face again, you'll know.
Look, he tried to tell us. He tried to tell us.
If I ever shave my face again, you'll know.
Lifting.
It's not our world.
None of this is real?
Nope.
So you're just passing
We don't
through.
matter. We don't matter.
Listen, when you guys were obsessed with Jim Carrey and being like, he's so philosophical, he's so amazing, he's a nihilist, existential dread going through a stage. Like, everyone was like, Brittany, this was years ago. Brittany, everyone's like, Brittany, look at Jim Carrey. He's like getting away from Hollywood. He's like, we're all just here in this construct. Okay, then do something about it. You're rich. You have status. Do something. You know what I mean? Do something. Like, no, he's just a fucking literally yes chat. He's a nihilistic rage baiter. He's a nihilistic rage baiter. I'm over him. He's a white man who's like, oh my God, we're on a rocket space and life is so...
Then I watched everybody like talking 1,000 miles an hour up there receiving their awards, and I was like, I'm dead.
He's talking about the fact that they were speaking French, I think, and he wasn't. He speaks French, apparently. Look at this. He just admitted to wearing Jim's face.
My favorite funny face is the one I'm wearing right now. My favorite.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, guys, grow up.
Hi, Dr. Sarah. Here to confirm that this man on February 26, 2026 is Jim Carrey, not a clone. Okay, you see his lateral incisor, number 7? It's like much brighter than the rest of the teeth. That's like a crown, a veneer. 2024, this is Jim Carrey, crown. I think the front two are crowns too. Really flat canine, some recession, root showing. I think that's his natural number 10 lateral incisor. This is like the 2026 one that everyone thinks is not Jim Carrey. Really flat canine, the light crown number 7, 2 crowns on the front, 8 and 9, the natural number 10 and 11. This is 2020. The flat canine, the crown, the light crown, the 2 crowns on the central.
You love it. Even the dentists are like, I got this. Move over.
Natural teeth, 10 and 11. And here he is in like 1992. The reason why he has that crown is because that one was so much more in. He has discoloration. He has 2 veneers or 2 crowns there. His natural teeth. His canine was much more pointy then. It's worn down since then. But the man that was there on February 26, 2026 is Jim Carrey.
There you go. She said it.
This man is cloned. I know it's a weird time in the world and the leaders are lying to us and there are conspiracies left and right, but Jim Carrey just turned 64 years old. What if he just wanted to zhuzh his face a little bit? You know, Jim Carrey has some deep set eyes, and at the end of 2024,
he's got those doggy eyes. He's got a bit of a pup eye. You know how dogs have the sinking eye look? Some dogs, that's what he looks like.
we're getting a little droopy, right? There were some wrinkles going around there. Maybe this man just got some Botox, filler. Maybe he got an upper bleph, you know, an eye lift. 51-year-old Bradley Cooper got an...
Remember when Bradley Cooper got his stuff done and you guys went crazy? The internet was so mad. They're like, who is this? I don't even recognize him. This is why people judge plastic surgery, because they're like, you look worse. But to be fair, surgery also has to settle. So when you get used to it, like I remember when, what's her name? Hold on. I can't remember anyone's name right now. What's her name? Eva Mendes. Okay, when Eva Mendes got her plastic surgery, or her and Ryan Gosling, because they're married, got their faces done, everyone was freaking out, but it's settled now and she looks beautiful. She's always looked beautiful. People were like freaking out. Wait, let me see. I think this is the one that people were panicking about. You can barely see that. Let me see. I don't see a more modern one. Oh, I guess this is a good example, I suppose. See, that's not even, she looks great. That's what I mean. Like, people were freaking out and I was just like, get over it. It's not even that deep, bro. Like, people just panic, you know, they pre-panic or something. And like, she looks fine. Okay, I get it. You feel like, oh, it went too far. It didn't go correct. Well, how do you think she feels, by the way? Like, how do you think they feel when you're out here policing their bodies? Like, and that's the problem I have with all of this is like, at the end of the day, we are policing people's bodies more than we are discovering clones. Okay, we are policing bodies so hard that like literally men are lying about IUDs to the face. Okay, stay with me here. This is a gym bro who you guys might know on the internet. Okay, this is Malibu Max. And he literally had to come out and apologize for lying about why his face looks like that, because people were making fun of him so badly that he literally said that when he was in the military, he took an IUD to the face because he'd rather think people thought he was a hero than realize he just had bad plastic surgery. Because you guys are so fucking mean. Adulthood is high school with money. You guys are still fucking bullies.
I wanted to talk to you directly about the claim that I made taking an IED blast to the face. Before anything else, I want to be clear. I did serve between 2005 and
Okay, so he goes on to say his audio is really IED. Sorry, what am I saying? An IUD? My bad. IUD is a birth control. Thank you, chat. IED. I'm so sorry. My bad. So he did actually serve, but he didn't take anything to the face. And then people were like, that's disgusting. I can't believe you lied about this. I can't believe you would do this. I want to show you who he was 10 years ago, okay? So this is him on top. He was a Christian preacher, I guess, or like preached to Jesus Christ. And this is him now at the bottom. Oop, hold on. Let me turn it down.
So I know the best kinds of friends to have too. You guys. Because you guys aren't afraid to tell me, stop using potty mouth. Hey, potty mouth. Stop having potty mouth. Okay, you know what I mean. Don't swear, right? Worldly people won't tell you that. So, this is my challenge to you teens and campus.
Okay, so he did like teen talks. He has the word SWAT on his shirt, but it's something Christian. It's not traditionally like the word SWAT, because I looked it up because I was like, why does it say SWAT? It's not SWAT like cops. It's SWAT like something Jesus, something. I can't remember what it is now, but I did look it up last night because I was curious. Either way, he obviously you can just see the way adults pressure each other and why somebody might feel a need to get some work done. And also people might just want to get some work done. They might in their mind think this works for me. I'm not excusing the fact that he lied. I'm just explaining why people feel so pushed into a corner. Like maybe in another life, it would be better if Jim Carrey was a clone to you than a man with plastic surgery, because that's what you guys sound like. Sometimes the internet does sound like I would rather you be a clone than a man who just got plastic surgery, which sounds so silly. Okay, it just sounds so silly to me. Now, okay, I want to show you this one. Let me pull it up here. So also, Get Up, welcome to memberships. Happy to have you here. There's also Selena Gomez. So this is a recent Rare Beauty ad she did.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
Okay, and then if you go to the comment sections of this video, and I guess this played really well into our first story today about judging people's, eating disorders and maybe their body weight because you don't know what they're going through. Selena has jumped back and forth with her body weight over the years. She's really struggled because she has a baby face and she has a big round face. And so often people think she's fat when she's not. Not that it's wrong to be fat, but when you have fat phobia and you're riddled with it, it just puts a pressure on you not to want to look that way. So if you go to the comment section, it goes, she's Gina Davis. That's the conspiracy. The conspiracy is that Selena Gomez has been replaced with Gina Davis, that she's not Selena Gomez. Okay. And then, people in the comments are like, is Selena Gomez in the room with us? Oh my God, it's Gina Davis, right? Rest in peace, Selena, not Selena. Where's the real Selena? It's like, oh my gosh, like who's the real, this is so silly to me. So then I saw this video. This video has 300,000 likes, almost 400,000 likes. It's pretty funny, where he explains the conspiracy theory of what's going on the internet. So just stay with me here.
Took Justin Bieber's and Selena Gomez's baby. So the elites took Justin Bieber's and Selena Gomez's baby.
Pause. There are people on the internet who literally believe the elites have stolen Justin Bieber and Selena's baby. And that's why Justin Bieber had a crash out and doesn't actually love Hailey Bieber, his wife. And Hailey is his keeper. Hailey was hired by the elites to keep him at bay, which is why he's always rebelling against her and yelling at her and being abusive, because she's like, in charge of him. And Selena is actually his true love, but they had to sell their baby, okay?
And gave him to the Kardashians in order to keep him in line.
Okay, then yes. So they believe, okay, I went down a lot of rabbit holes. Okay, they believe, right? Right? They believe the Kardashians are raising that baby, that they're trading babies. That's why when the Epstein files came out and you guys jumped all the way to they're eating babies, even though that was debunked and that wasn't true, I get it. I saw the headlines. I was like, is this true? You guys have to be careful, because eating babies is like, it could be true, but you know what? It doesn't have to be true for it to be outrageous. The Epstein files was already crazy. It was already disgusting. I mean, wasn't rape enough? Wasn't the trafficking enough? No, you needed them to eat babies as well.
Take with that what you will. With all the stuff coming out about the Epstein files and the monstrosities that everybody there was involved in, an article has resurfaced by Justin Bieber from 2018 where he talks about
It's not by Justin Bieber, it's by Baxter, whatever, but about
depravity that the elites partake in. Basically, Justin was invited to a special party. He was taken into a back room, and in that back room...
Is it Selena and I were expecting in the early days we hadn't told anyone. At the same time, I was being courted by some really powerful people, most powerful people in Hollywood. Okay, but who is this interviewer? Who did it? If you go back, it's by Baxter. Let me see.
There were the depravity that the elites partake in. By Justin.
Okay, so who wrote this? What place was it posted on, right? See how they don't reference it? It says by Baxter Dimitri. Okay, but like, what is this?
Bieber from 2018, where he talks about the depravity that the elites partake in. Basically, Justin was invited to a special party. He was taken into a back room, and in that back room, there were masked individuals. And once again, click away if you don't want to hear this. But those masked individuals were drinking red liquid from a, use your imagination, but it's the worst thing you can think of. Justin, rightfully horrified, takes off. But in order to kind of keep him in line, they took his and Selena Gomez's baby and I guess gave him to the Kardashians, which, as a side note, if there was one family that definitely sold their souls to the devil, it's the Kardashians. I have the full article on my X account, which also has a link to the full thing, and it's one of those articles that has been archived, but you can't find literally anywhere because they called him a conspiracy theorist and a nutcase. That doesn't seem to be the case anymore. So
see, people always go like, "Oh, I guess it was true. It's not crazy anymore." Obviously, some bad shit is happening, but the question is what is it? Again, I'm not saying it can't be true. I'm not saying there isn't something to be said. We know people have sacrificed people. We know people have eaten people. We know people have turned humans into furniture, right? We know those things happen. I'm saying, do you know the difference between I know those things happen and like, I think God is speaking to me and I'm not crazy, okay? Because we're going to get into this about Gabby Hanna as well in mental health. Like when you sit there and say like, God is speaking to me. He came to me in a dream. He talked to me in my sleep. I know he's real. Like I know Jesus is real. There's a point where you just kind of sound crazy. Not all religious people sound like this, by the way. Not all people sound like they don't know what's going on in the world. But the fact is like lots of people have a lot of thoughts about being cloned, about the elites, about drinking baby blood. And I'm saying, if it's real, it's real. But if it's not real, why are you identifying so hard with it to such an extreme, right? That you are not allowing yourself to really
what if Jim Carrey
understand how the world works. Hold on. You're not actually allowing yourself to understand how the world works, your place in the universe, and you're not helping people. You spend so much time worried about celebrities and whether or not they're being cloned instead of helping your local communities, instead of feeding people and working at shelters and picking up litter and doing all of these things that are happening because the world needs you so desperately. And you were spending all of your time worried about whether or not Justin Bieber's baby was taken and Selena Gomez and the Kardashians. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is commentary to make on real celebrities. There is commentary to be had. There is a lot. Yes, Discord. Yes, Discord. Escapism. That's the problem. You are so busy escaping. You didn't realize, like, that's what I'm saying. How can you say you know what the truth is? Well, you're not even grounding yourself. Okay, so look at this video. I think this might be an AI video. I don't know. Hold on.
Carrey on Hollywood's biggest night in France. On March 1, the internet completely lost its mind after legendary makeup artist Alexis Stone made a shocking claim that he transformed into Jim Carrey for Carrey's February 20.
So hold on.
26th appearance at the Caesar.
Hold on. Let's look at this video instead.
Jim Carrey has always felt like the
Okay, I think this is here.
one person on Earth that you just couldn't replace. From the rubber face to the chaotic energy, the way he moves around like a cartoon that escaped into the real world, you can't fake that. You can't just swap that guy out and expect the internet not to notice. So when I first saw the post claiming that the man at the Caesar Awards in France wasn't Jim Carrey, I rolled my eyes. I was fully prepared to stand here, turn on this camera, and tell you that everyone believing in this replacement theory had lost their grip on reality. But then I hesitated. I actually sat with the footage. I compared it to the Jim Carrey we've watched for 30 years, and now I have to admit something I didn't expect to say tonight. There is a chance, a non-zero chance, that the man on that stage was not him. Now, before you get all crazy on me, let's look at this like rational adults. Celebrities can get cosmetic surgery all the time. Faces get pulled tighter, jawlines change, hairlines move. Other celebrities look drastically different now than they did 5, 10, or 20 years ago. We can't freeze people in time just because we loved their movies in 2004. And let's be real about doubles. We know that high-profile figures use decoys. We know that they use stand-ins for security, for PR stunts, or even just to avoid the paparazzi. That's not a conspiracy, that's logistics. So the logical part of my brain says, relax. It's just an aging actor with some fresh filler and maybe a bad hair day. But then I went on Facebook. And if you look at the conspiracy theories circulating there right now, they're not talking about plastic surgery, they're talking about murder.
He literally looks like somebody was shown a Jim Carrey movie and told, be this guy. Since Jim's eyes are dark, brown, not green. Like, oh, have a look at him on Colbert's show 9 days ago.
See, there is a massive and frankly unhinged narrative that Jim Carrey was taken out because he exposed.
Also, guys, I don't know if you know this or have been noticing this. I've noticed this on my TikTok, right? On TikTok, there has been a resurgence of old clips of celebrities when they're trending to make it almost, I think that the people are doing it because they know their clips will go viral because it's trending. But when they do that, it also confuses everybody. So there were clips of Jim Carrey being posted from older videos, and people were like, this is what he looked like 9 days ago. But apparently it wasn't what he looked like 9 days ago, or it was what he looked like 9 days ago, or was it what he looked like 9 years ago, or it was what he looked like. So it kept confusing people about like, wait, is this recent or not recent? So make sure you look at the date times of the post and make sure you do a little bit of research because information is so hard to decipher. I saw someone say, I wish I could remember who said it. I saw someone say like the greatest currency right now is being able to tell what's true. But for your own sanity, it's really important that you try to figure out really what's true. Right?
Was Hollywood elites in child trafficking. And I want to push back on that. See, these theories pull from two different things and mash them together. On one hand, there's a 2017 interview where Carrey goes full philosopher and says, Jim Carrey doesn't exist. There is no me. And people treat that like it's some kind of hidden confession. And then there's a real speech from 2018 where he said, kidnapping children is not what great nations do, which sounds alarming until you learn that he was talking about Donald Trump separating migrant kids at the border. Someone clipped it, removed every word of context, and suddenly Jim Carrey is a trafficking whistleblower. He's not. He was making a political point about immigration enforcement. He wasn't killed for exposing a secret cabal. He was just being an artist giving an award speech. The people spreading this satanic panic version of the story are discrediting the actual mystery here. Because you don't need a secret society to make the situation weird. You just need your own two eyes. Let's strip.
Not only that, but you don't need a. This is what I feel about conspiracy theories. Like, you don't need some crazy conspiracy about elites taking over or like fucking with shit. Your parents fuck with shit when they tell you your family lore and you get old and realize they lied to you. Your own parents are lying to you. You think the government isn't? Like, that's the irony. It's not a conspiracy. Humans suck. Like, you're sitting here and trying to create a great conspiracy out of the elites lying to you. Your own boyfriend lies to you. He's cheating on you right now and stealing your life savings. He's not an elite. He's a shitty person.
Away the murder plots and just look at the man in Paris. I want to argue that the guy who showed up at the Caesar Awards didn't just look different, he sounded and acted different too. Jim Carrey has a specific frequency. He's
This is insane, bro. Bro, come on, lock in, bro.
He's volatile. Even when he's serious, there's a manic glint in his eye. But the man in Paris?
Oh, I wrote it and I researched it.
That literally sounds exactly like Jim Carrey to me. That literally sounds exactly like Jim Carrey. No part of my brain in any way thinks this is not Jim Carrey.
And I practiced it like crazy, but you know, it's then I watched everybody like talking 1,000 miles an hour up there receiving their awards, and I was like, I'm dead.
Maybe I've just watched The Grinch like 1,000 times, but I don't know how that doesn't sound like Jim Carrey.
He was square, stiff. Plastic surgery can change your skin, it can tighten your neck, but it doesn't change your soul. It doesn't change those little micro expressions you make when you tell a joke. And I think that's what triggered the uncanny.
Okay, you know what's so funny though? Have you guys never seen unhoused people with addictions? You know what I mean? Like on the streets, they look so different from like what they used to look like because addiction really it eats at your skin. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like you guys don't understand that the human body is a ever-changing thing. It's deeply impacted by everything you do to it. Like if I got Botox, you would notice. If I got plastic surgery, you would notice and you would be like, oh my God, Brittany looks different. If I got a nose job, it would completely change my face. It would still be me, but you would be like, it would be uncanny for a while. Do you know what I mean? So again, there's like this whole conversation to be had, this whole conspiracy to be had that I just think is so exhausting to me because there's so much serious shit happening in the world. And like, this is the focus. Now, don't get me wrong. I think the bigger conversation is not just to chastise people that are spending time doing this. It's actually something bigger than this. It is a mental health crisis. Okay. This is a mental health crisis. And I'm saying the world is mentally ill. And this is why I push therapy so hard, because the world needs to go to therapy. I'm so dead serious. The world is suffering because you won't get your brain checked. Okay. Now you might think, oh my God, therapist, there's a conspiracy theory. Like, you know what I mean? Don't go to therapy. They're brainwashing you. Sure. Maybe a bad therapist. Maybe like there is, you know what I mean? Like there are rapist therapists. But again, you're doing this thing where you're equating bad people as if bad people don't exist with like some conspiracy theory. Guys, they're just bad people. Bad people exist. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. Look at this video. Why does this Selena Gomez sound like Gina Davis?
Wonderful addition to my life. I feel extremely lucky.
I started it because I found out when I had kids that kids' entertainment stuff made specifically for them, like even preschool.
A wonderful addition to my life. I feel.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you absolutely crazy? Are you absolutely insane?
A new conspiracy theory is gaining traction online, and it's raising eyebrows.
This is AI, but okay, but think about it though. I think AI is also contributing to the problem. The reason so much of it is AI is because people keep watching AI and thinking it's real. That's why I think it's so obviously like, you know what I'm saying? The AI is a part of the problem.
Like I said in my last video, the end part of my video was deleted and it got sent to my drafts, and then when I go to look, it's deleted. Like, so I redid it and it was deleted again. Any fucking way. What I was saying is I feel like,
look at the music they put on their videos. Like, is this AI? Just a goofy girl talking about Benjamin Franklin and the Pizzagate massacre, and talking about Kardashian curse conspiracies, and talking about, and I'm like, girly, go to college and get a job. Go to college and get a job, girlies. What are we doing?
So for some reason, I'm on the part of the internet that currently believes Selena Gomez had her body taken and reanimated with containing another person's soul, essentially, right? Namely, Gina Davis. And I saw another creator talk about how she wants Selena Gomez to like acknowledge it, make a joke out of it, blah, blah, blah. I would like to see Gina Davis do that. Like, you guys are acting like this woman isn't still alive and well and around. She's probably at home right now, just chilling. So-
It's like, you know, everyone's like, I haven't seen them both in the same room at the same time. And I'm like, are you guys okay?
I don't know. Most of my friends are in my segment, so it makes me really, you know, comfortable.
Lena, which one of your songs gets
Who takes me seriously doing that? I had I'm trying to. Ooh, this is the sexy rap.
You're not.
I'm a lucky diamond.
Is this the same? How is this the same person?
I don't know. I don't know the key. I just know it works for me, and I like to maybe just see one friend with a bunch of people.
You know what I mean? Like, people just, I don't know, bros. I don't know, girls. I don't know.
If you're ever feeling stupid or crazy or out of your mind, just know that there are people out there who genuinely believe that Selena Gomez is actually Gina Davis.
Or even more than that, like genuinely with peace and love, okay? Again, we live on a planet where people genuinely believe in God, in demons, where people believe like you can be possessed by the devil, which, you know, we're going to move into Gabby Hanna. Okay, we're going to move into Gabby Hanna after the break today. And just to give you a 2-second preview.
Called me crazy to my face because I told him that I had a dream from this pastor called me crazy to my face because I told him that I had a dream from God where he told me that Jesus is the truth and I needed to like repent. I am definitely going to be telling this story in full with my husband because he was there. We have the emails, we have the conversation in person recorded, and it's really important because church hurt is real. And a pastor who does not believe in the Holy Spirit and is not willing to hear your testimony is why people leave the church. Before I even get started on this story,
okay, you know what I mean? Like, look, okay, you do what you got to do. I do think there's a way to be grounded and religious. I do think there's a way to be like, a lot of religious people are very sane. A lot of religious people, I don't blame her leader, her pastor, to say that, because he's like, look, it's kind of a big deal. Because look, I grew up Catholic, and we'll talk about this after the break. And yeah, like I grew up thinking like there were saints who can transport, there were saints who can float, there were saints who could perform miracles. If I ever said to my mother, like, I think God spoke to me, she'd be like, okay. Like she would like, in order for it to be believable, the Catholic Church has to confirm it. You don't get to just walk around and say you believe in Christ. The Catholic Church has to confirm. You have to get it confirmed. You know, even to be a saint, there's like rigorous, you know, it might sound stupid, but you can't actually just show up and be like, I'm a saint. Like, no, there's a protocol, which again, I don't think any of it's real. And usually the reason you become a saint is it's 3 performed miracles that science can't explain. So they get medical doctors from outside the church who are secular to come in, review the cases, and if the doctors can't explain it, they consider it a miracle. That's basically kind of the vibe. Now, still don't believe in religion, still don't believe in, I think there's an answer for everything. We just don't know what it is yet. But the fact that people exist on this planet who do believe in religion, like a Gabby Hanna. So there's 3 categories, right? There's the Gabby Hannas. There's the grounded religious people that, yes, we don't agree with their religions, and they're still not crazy, okay? And non-derogatory, just like insane. It is what it is, right? And then there's the people who are so deep in the conspiracy theories, they're so deep in it that they're like the woman I met in New Mexico who has no relationship with her family or friends because she thought 5G was going to blow up my brain. Girl, 5G hasn't done it yet. You know what I mean? Like, there are people on this planet. There was a woman, I knew of a woman, without going into too many details, who had a trouble with the law, was a former addict who was sober, who started drinking pee as a way to help herself health-wise, and was mad that, like, I wouldn't drink pee. And I was like, I'm not going to drink pee, girl. And she was just like, you guys are dismissing me because you don't think it's real. And I was like, I'm just saying. You don't need to push like drinking pee on people. And then she was like, my kid might drink pee and or bathe in it. And I was like, okay. And then she started asking strangers to advocate for her in court to get custody of her kid back. And I was like, do you think maybe you lost custody of your kid because you're drinking pee and you want to take him off grid? Like, do you hear yourself? You're literally on the internet fully saying I drink pee and I want to take my kid into the woods and live off grid. And then you're asking why the government won't give your kid back. Do you know what I'm saying? So again, when we have this conversation about like sanity, I need you to be grounded. Who knows? Maybe you're correct in drinking pee is an end-all healer of everything. And maybe we're all crazy for not drinking pee, right? Maybe we are the crazy ones. But if you are correct, then you better explain it grounded. Okay? If you want to be the adult in the room, talk to people grounded. Bring the data and be reasonable. You sound insane because of the way you're acting, the way you're speaking, the way you're exhibiting yourself. And that makes people scared and worried about the way you're going to impact vulnerable people in your life, i.e. your child. Okay? And this goes into everything else. The reason Gabby Hanna, okay, is struggling is because she depicts herself. She continues to come on the internet looking unreasonable, ungrounded. So it makes all of us go like, hey, are you still good, girl? We're afraid. We're worried. You scare us. And she's like, why do I scare you? Why do I scare you? Okay? Why do I scare you?
Oh, real okay. But my taste in music is your face. On the radio.
Anyways, let's take a break. We'll get into Gabby Hanna. But all of this to say, girls, even if they're cloning adults, you know what the real focus should be? The fact that they're raping children. I think I'm a little bit more concerned they're raping kids, but you guys, you maintain your worry about cloning adults, which obviously I know isn't that crazy because they're cloning animals. So you're like all worried about cloning adults. I'm more concerned about the fact that they're raping kids. But, you know, priorities, they're all different for all of us, okay?